He murdered a woman in broad daylight. The system said he was sick, not evil. They released him. Then he killed again. And this time, he didn't just murder his victim. He ate him. Tonight's story isn't about a monster hiding in the shadows. It's about a man everyone knew was dangerous, and the chain of decisions that turned him into one of the most horrifying failures of modern justice. Before we continue, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Take a moment to tell us in the comments where you're watching from. You're part of this community, and we'd love to hear from you. This story unfolds in England, but not the England most people imagine. Not postcard streets or quiet villages. This begins in Southwick, an aging borough on the edge of London in the early 1990s. In 1993, Marcus Hale was 23 years old. On paper, Marcus looked ordinary. He lived alone in a cramped council flat. He worked part-time as a sales assistant in a boutique clothing shop in Kensington Row. But those who knew him sensed something was off. Marcus spoke to himself constantly, sometimes under his breath, sometimes loudly, in phrases that didn't resemble English at all. Co-workers said it sounded like a private language only he understood. The shop was owned by a middle-aged businessman named Rajiv Seth, but the heart of the store was his daughter, Lena Seth, a 20-year-old woman who managed most daily operations. Marcus became fixated on her, not admiration, not a crush, fixation. He watched her when she worked, copied her movements, found excuses to stand near her. Lena noticed, and she was afraid. She later told her family that Marcus had once grabbed her wrist without warning, tight enough to hurt, before laughing it off like a joke. Then came the theft. Marcus was caught stealing clothing from the shop's stockroom. When confronted, he didn't deny it. He just stared. Rajiv fired him immediately. In the weeks before his dismissal, staff reported sudden bursts of anger, slammed doors, shouted insults at customers who hadn't spoken to him. Marcus left the shop without argument, but he didn't leave it behind. March 18, 1993, late afternoon. Lena was working alone in the shop with her 13-year-old brother, Aaron, who sat behind the counter doing homework. The bell above the door rang. Marcus walked in. In his jacket pocket was a claw hammer. He didn't speak at first. Then, without warning, he crossed the shop floor and struck Aaron in the head. The boy collapsed instantly. Lena screamed. She reached for the phone, but Marcus grabbed her, ripping it from the wall. He dragged her toward the back of the store. What followed lasted less than a minute. The hammer rose and fell again and again. Customers later described the sound as wet and hollow. Lena's skull fractured under the force. The damage was catastrophic. Aaron regained consciousness just long enough to see his sister lying motionless, blood pooling beneath her. He ran. Marcus chased him down the street, hammer still in hand. Pedestrians noticed. Someone shouted. Someone stepped into Marcus's path. Marcus fled. Lena Seth was pronounced dead at the scene. Aaron survived, barely, with stitches and lifelong trauma. Less than an hour later, Marcus was spotted hanging from a third floor balcony of a nearby apartment building. Witnesses watched as he lost his grip. He fell feet first, both legs shattered. He later told doctors he'd meant to jump head first, but changed his mind. Marcus was charged, but never convicted of murder. Psychiatrists diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. His lawyers argued diminished responsibility. The court agreed. Instead of prison, Marcus was sent to a high-security psychiatric facility indefinitely. Doctors evaluated his past. He admitted to bullying weaker children for pleasure, to carrying weapons by age 12, to gang robberies, to attempting to push someone from a building at 18. Yet by 2001, staff claimed he had made progress. They said he was calmer, more mature. They said he was rehabilitated. Marcus was released under supervision. By 2002, he was living in a supported hostel in North London, allowed to come and go freely. By 2004, he was approved for low-support housing. Around this time, an unreported allegation surfaced involving a teenage girl nearby. Nothing came of it. No report, no warning. Marcus was transferred to an open psychiatric ward for his own safety. That's where he met Daniel Pierce. Daniel Pierce was 43. Quiet, lonely, kind. Marcus visited him often. On February 17, 2004, Marcus left his ward unsupervised. He stopped at a hardware shop. He bought a utility knife, a screwdriver, a claw hammer. That evening he arrived at Daniel's flat. By nightfall, Daniel was dead. When police forced entry, the lights were off. The smell of disinfectant filled the air. Marcus stood inside, shirtless, covered in blood. Daniel's body lay dismembered. In the kitchen, officers found cooked human flesh. Marcus smiled. He told them he had eaten parts of Daniel. He said it tasted good. He said he wanted Daniel's soul. Marcus's violence escalated rapidly in custody. He threatened staff, spoke openly about cannibalism. Transferred to Broadmoor Hospital, he was mistakenly placed in medium security. 10 days later, he murdered another patient, a 60-year-old man awaiting trial. He strangled him, smashed his head against the floor. Doctors later described Marcus as the most dangerous individual they had ever interviewed. He spoke calmly about killing, about eating people. In October 2004, Marcus Hale was finally sentenced to life imprisonment. The judge set a minimum term, later reduced due to mental illness. But the court made one thing clear: Marcus Hale would likely never be released. And this time, the system agreed.